Welcome to the Elevate and Dommenate podcast, where we dive deep into the world of dominance and submission, kink, and everything BDSM. I'm Goddess Aroya, here to challenge the myths, break down taboos, and empower you in your journey.
And I'm Mistress Odessa. We're here to educate, inform, and explore the truths of power exchange, consent, and the psychology behind kink. Because knowledge is the key to safe, fulfilling play.
And this is Orpheus Black. This isn't about play. It's about connection, growth, and understanding the deeper layers of dominance and submission. So whether you're a seasoned player or just beginning your journey, this is for you.
Let's elevate the conversation
and dominate the narrative.
Welcome to Elevate and Dommenate.
The deeper you get into kink, the closer you are to smoking cigars. The leather scene, the kink scene, and cigars go hand in hand. So one of the things that you want to think about is, simple rule of thumb, the darker it is, the more strong it is, the more potent it is, and the harder it is for your stomach to handle, especially if you're new. So one of the things that I like to say is, if we're going to do something dark, make sure that you're already experienced. Also, the longer it is, the thicker it is, the longer the burn. So the longer it's going to take you to smoke it.
That's what she said.
So my rule of thumb is something maybe as long as your finger, maybe about as thick as your finger. If you're, you have smaller hands, maybe no thicker than 2 fingers.
Okay.
And there's nothing wrong with getting flavored type cigars your first time.
Okay.
You want to make your first time as enjoyable as humanly possible.
Okay.
So for me, I'm like, get a vanilla, get a cherry, get a something, but also make sure it's the highest end that you can afford.
Okay.
And the highest end that you can get into that space. So
it's got to be high end.
In my opinion, right? Because you can get something from a liquor store.
Okay.
And it's not going to be as enjoyable as someone.
So no Black and Milds.
No Black and Milds. Yeah, no hood smokes.
Oh man.
But something, you can always ask somebody who works there.
Yeah.
Say, hey, I'm new. I'd like to get into smoking cigars. What does that look like? And they'll often show you something that they feel comfortable with giving you. They'll give you a good recommendation. But always make sure it's good. And then once you get a brand you like, kind of stick with it.
Okay.
And then feel good about it. And if it's not your thing, then it's not your thing.
Okay.
But one of my favorite things is when people do kink and they have smoking fetish and they want to deal with the ash is always better on a cigar than on a cigarette, because you get a bigger, longer ash.
Yeah, it's true.
Right? Also, if you want to do smoke play, right, you're going to get much more smoke out of a cigar than you will a cigarette.
Okay.
Right? So if you're going to start doing play with cigars, or even cigar service, right, or if you're going to do pairings as a submissive, or you want to train your partner to do something, you're going to get a lot more mileage out of doing cigars than you will cigarettes. So that's my little kink thing for this.
I have had people request smoke play, but they wanted me to smoke like a whole thing of cigarettes. And remember, I think I told you about that, and then you said that there were smoke-free cigarettes or something like that.
Yeah, so
there's other styles. There's no such thing as cigars like that, is there?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, there are.
So anytime you go to a movie set and they're smoking, they have to be a certain type of thing. So they have phony cigarettes that are basically made out of something that's not tobacco.
Okay.
And while it's still smoke, and yes, something is still burning, and yes, there are carcinogens, it's not nicotine. It's not tar.
Okay.
Right? And so you can get cigarettes and cigars like that, but they are very expensive. So if someone's going to ask you for that and you don't want to smoke, you should have them buy those for you. Okay. So that you can engage. The other thing, too, is you're not going to get the same ash that you would from those other ones.
I could see that.
They're going to fall apart really easy. I've tried them. They don't work very well. Mm-hmm. The other thing is pipes. Right? Okay. There are some people who like you to do pipe play. Yeah. It's very rare. But if they're into it and they want it, you can definitely get the fake tobacco.
Okay.
That is, they'll give you the smoke, but won't give you the nicotine or the tar.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's see which ones we're going to pick. I'm going to let you pick because I have no idea what's happening. Although I do know the Cohiba. I've heard that several times.
So Cohiba is a brand, but it's also a type of cigar.
Okay.
Like Cohiba is also a Cuban cigar, but Cohiba is also a company. And they're a good middle of the line, entry level one. To me, I like Partagas. You know, I like a small, thick Partagas, you know, and it's a good smoke. It's not long smoke, but I also like mine a little heavy. So what I recommend for other people is like a Modelo or double Modelo. Those are like greener, lighter, they're softer smokes. And, you know, something that's a box shape. I like a box shape. It feels better in my hands than a nice round one. Especially if you are femdom and you have small fingers.
I got big hands, so
you got big hands,
Yeah.
but you get to spank them with. Huh?
yeah.
But no, if you got big hands, you can do a round one. But for me, even with my big hands, I still like a square one. It just fits in there nice and you know what I mean.
Okay.
And so I'm gonna get a Partagas, and I'm gonna look around for it. But a company like Oliva is a good one.
And so when you say high end, you want the box to say at least $150, $200. That's what you're saying.
Especially if they're paying for it.
You don't want no $2 cigar.
Well, what you're actually looking for are these things here, which are like the numbers. These are usually like ratings that the like Cigar Aficionado or some other company gives them, right? And so I would say if you're spending about $27 to $30 per stick, and that's what they're called, sticks, you're getting pretty much a good, a high-end cigar. Whether you like it or not is something different.
This one is attractive. That's just a pretty outside.
Yeah, that's actually a good company too.
Oh, it is?
So if you look here, you can see the difference in color between this and this.
Yeah, and that's a square one right there, right?
Yeah, these are square, the box ones.
Okay.
And then you can see these are even lighter.
That looks like the Philly blunt.
You got to take it to the ghetto, don't you? Bring it hood.
I mean, you know.
But like Romeo y Juliet is like a good middle of the line kind of cigar as well.
Okay.
And you know, you can pretty much do whatever you want. But based on that, you should pretty much be able to get started.
Okay.
Now, these are different cuts. So you see this one is a V cut. This is a guillotine cut, straight cut, right? So I personally like the V cut because I get less tobacco in my mouth.
Oh, okay.
So I put that there. We'll see if that's going to be a good one. Perfect cut. The whole thing about this is the ritual, right? I try to tell everybody that everything is ritual, right? So it's not just having the cigar. It's not just having the matches. It's warming the cigar with the fire. You want to make sure it's warm. You want to slowly bring everything up. You don't want to rush it because then you're just tasting burnt, right? So I generally will use 2 matches to get a little bit of fire, and then you just kind of make a circle.
Very nice pan.
Oh, thank you. There we go.
Oh, so yours is different. Yours is thicker at the end.
Yeah. So mine is like this is torpedo, right? And so you can see it's easier to light because it's a smaller surface.
Okay.
Does that make sense? You want to try it yourself?
Okay. 2 of them.
I would say 2.
And light it, warm it up first.
Yes.
Like this? Like that.
And now you do a little circle. Yeah.
And
You want a little crispy at the. There we go. Now go ahead and put it in your mouth, and just like you lighten anything else. Turn it slightly. Keep turning it so it lights evenly. There you go. Keep going. No more. No more. There you go. Good job.
I almost hit it like a blunt.
That's the other thing. Do not swallow
Oh my
the smoke.
God, I almost did it.
Just pull it into your mouth and relax, and then blow it out.
It'd give you a head rush if you did that.
Oh, you would be coughing for fucking days.
It's basically just to look cool.
I'll get faded in a minute.
I'm gonna be faded. For real?
It won't be the same thing as the high that you get from like marijuana, but it definitely, you'll feel a sense of euphoria, more lightheadedness, more relaxed. It's just like tobacco, because
I
that's
always
what it
feel
is.
like when I have a cigar, I know you don't like this, but I always feel like I should have one.
There you go. Go
That's
for
how
it.
you should smoke a cigar.
Mhm.
Because every time I see somebody smoking a cigar on Instagram, they got one leg out to the side.
Look, you like this?
It's a thing then.
So the reason I think it happens is because you want the ash to fall on the floor if it falls on you and now you're closed.
That makes sense.
So I rest my arm on this one and then.
So I have a pass to see with my legs kind of open today.
Yeah, I'm quite sure the viewers ain't gonna be mad to see your legs either. This is when the thing is the ritual itself. Now I don't know if you know this, but tobacco comes from Mesoamerica, right? And what happened was people actually didn't smoke tobacco this way. They actually inhaled it through their nose.
Why?
So the idea, first of all, peace pipes had two prongs on it, and when both nose and you went, and it was directly into your nose. They believed it went directly into your mind, into your soul.
Oh, okay.
Right? Because they're like, food goes here. You know, anything you're smelling, and you smell this, so it must go in your nose. Right? But they used it for many other things. Like they used it to, you know, if you ate something poisonous, you take a little bit of tobacco and it make you vomit. Right? They used it to help close wounds. They did a lot of different things. And so when you think about tobacco, was one of those things that was like a universal cure-all. Then when the settlers came here and they saw tobacco, they're like, yeah, we want this, and they took the plants back to Europe and then kind of made them like super potent and then brought them back. And Native Americans were like, we know what tobacco is, and they're like, oh my God, this is crazy. And they got hooked on this European version and not the ones that they have.
The natural ones. Yeah.
Exactly.
Because the other ones have like more chemicals.
Not more chemicals, just more potent. It would be like the equivalent of smoking marijuana back in the 80s versus smoking it in 2025. It's so much more potent, right? And so, you know, people got more addicted to tobacco in that way, and then they start adding different things to it through the years, and it becomes this other thing. The idea is that, to me, is to go back to the ritual of smoking, the ritual of bonding, the whole 9 yards.
They use this in Santa Clarita.
Using the Santa Clarita?
Yeah, they use it in
Voodoo?
Voodoo, yeah.
Right?
Voodoo,
yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's a whole ritual behind it. It's not just smoking for the sake of smoking, but it's also a ritual, right? And so, you know, I wouldn't talk about those types of rituals now because, you know, we're on camera, but there's lots of rituals that I'm thinking about when I'm here, and this is also a time for you to take out for yourself. It's like, I'm not doing anything, I'm not thinking about anything, my phone's away, right? I got to be anywhere, and this is just my ritual, my self-care.
I remember when I did my first cleansing, she had a cigar and she was blowing something, and I was like, whoa. You know, I was thinking, this is before I knew anything, you know, I'm like, well, you not smoke this cigar, I smoke it, tobacco, I'm thinking all this negative thing. She's like, no, that's purifying.
Yeah, tobacco is a purifier. You know,
I didn't know that.
A lot of times people would do, for ritual, they would smudge it with sage, right? But sage is for a very specific thing. Sage is to erase all energy, negative and positive, right? Whereas tobacco is a purifier. So you want to remove the negative energy from a room? Tobacco. You want to remove all energy from a room? Sage.
Makes sense.
Right? But
That makes sense.
but the thing about the using tobacco versus sage you're supposed to pick yourself,
Yes. And
Right.
you gotta leave something, right?
and you have to leave something. Tobacco is an ancestral product that you're supposed to be offering the smoke to the sage.
Oh, that
This
makes
is
sense.
called because the smoke goes up to the heavens. It does a thing. Also, in some cases, this is what your Orisha or your entity remembers the smoke and will be attracted to the smoke, so it's an attractor.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
In other places like Asia and some places in Eastern Europe, the smoke is actually used to let you know as a signifier that the entity is there because it's light enough to where you can see it disturbed. So if there's smoke in the room, you'll see something moving through
Yeah,
it, right?
Yeah.
So they may have 2 or 3 or 4 different cigars going at the same time, giving this up, and then you'll see like something moving through it or something disturbing the smoke.
The spirits.
Yeah, there's a whole culture around cigars that people don't think about.
No, I'm sure. Like I've definitely never took the time to learn about it. So this is a great lesson.
Cigars specifically come in with the leather community. So again, when people were coming back from World War II and they were partying in France and like, I don't want to settle down and do the American thing. I don't want to do the family thing. I don't want to do the monogamous thing. And I am of an alternative sexual persuasion. They put on their leathers, they got motorcycles, and they moved out into the rural parts of the world and kind of just became these biker groups, right? And as part of the culture, leather has a deep history in the military. Cigars are a big part of the military as well. And also when people in Europe, they usually develop this idea of smoking cigars. Also, cigarettes weren't as plentiful.
Okay.
Right? So, you'll see in like some of the art, the guy, the big buff guy with the leather and the cigar, like the tough guy look.
Yeah.
Right? It kind of fit the aesthetic, it fit the motif. It also fit at the time the tough guy, the mob guy, the tough guy always smoked the cigars and really smoked the cigarettes until later on. So this was kind of what everybody did. Cigars were all over the place. You didn't go buy cigarettes, you bought cigars, right? And we just tend to keep that ethos, right? And so you'll see meetups with leather people smoking cigars. Mm-hmm. You'll see at events where people are doing fundraisers, via cigars. They'll have cigar service classes. I went to a lovely one at MSC. Indigo's really good at cigar service too.
I'm not hip.
So, cigar service is something that you can train your sub to do, which is pick your cigar, make sure that it has no mold on it, make sure it's the type and the consistency and quality. You make sure that usually when you're doing cigar service, you bought a bunch of cigars and you have a humidor. Mm-hmm. They turn them over, they make sure the humidor is good. They're doing all the service for the cigar. Then when you're ready, they know what to pair it with. Are you going to use bourbon with this one? Are you going to use whiskey, vodka?
What would I pair with this?
I would say cognac. I generally think, you can't get cognac at these places. Not on camera you can. But yeah, my rule of thumb is the lighter the cigar, the lighter the liquid.
But
right?
it should be a brown liquor.
Brown liquor or some people will go tequila.
Tequila would be with a lighter cigar though?
Yeah, you could.
Okay.
But now, here's the thing. Some people do rum too. But depending on where you are, if you're having a cigar, you shouldn't pair light liquor with a cigar because it's a taboo in black culture.
It is?
You don't use light liquor, you use dark liquor. Because the colonizers, the oppressors, the slave masters use white liquor.
Oh.
Poor people got dark liquor, the rock butt, you know what I mean?
Makes sense.
And so if you have the tobacco and you're doing rum or you're doing tequila, Santa Clarita, right, it should be dark.
Oh, okay.
right? And actually it should be as unprocessed as possible. Other than that, I say that if you're not subscribing to that, then I would say do whiskey, do like whiskey, bourbon, rye, scotch, or cognac.
Scotch sounds like a cigar.
It really is.
It sounds like it to me.
Scotch is one of the best
Scotch
ones.
and a cigar. It sounds like I've had a hard fucking day. Yeah, I need a scotch and a cigar.
Scotch already has a smoky flavor to it, because especially if you got one that's got a lot of peat to it, because they chop this peat, which is pretty much bog, and then they use that and they burn that, and it flavors the barrels, and it's a really strong scent, and you get a lot of smoke. But they have other really smoky whiskeys too, but usually the darker it is, the darker the liquor. The lighter it is, the lighter the liquor. The general rule of thumb.
That's a great lesson. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you for joining us on another episode of the Elevate and Dommenate podcast. We hope you enjoyed your time with us. Remember, the journey doesn't end here. Stay tuned every other week as we continue to unravel the mysteries of dominance and submission with a twist. Don't forget to follow us on social media for updates and share your thoughts using hashtag Elevate and DOMMENATE. Until next time, embrace your desires, explore the unknown, and always remember, power is meant to be shared.